Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Anna. Today I'm sharing with you this tutorial how I'm making these poinsettia flowers. Very simple poinsettia flowers. They are made from 150 GSM, just ordinary cardstock. I'm working with newest Lady E design die cut poinsettia and winter flowers. And for each poinsettia you need 2 layers of smaller and the larger die. I will be working with Ranger Archival ink designed by Vendy Vecchi. You can choose any other color if you wish, the choice is yours, and I will apply my ink with just ordinary sponge. You can use blending tool, the choice is yours. So for each poinsettia you need 2 layers. There we go, I've got one smaller one and one bigger one. And I'm just applying the ink. I'm starting slowly in the middle, and I will apply the ink in the middle on only one of the layers because the other one won't be visible that much, so you can apply the ink only on edges. So there we go, I'm working on first layer, so I've put the ink in the middle. Now I'm working on the edges of each petal. There we go, very simple. And you don't have to be so precise with that. Just go with the flow. There we go, that's how it looks. And then move on to the next layer. The same process you will repeat for the larger layer. So it's nothing complicated. Again, a bit of the ink in the middle, then at the edges, and work on the second layer, right? There we go, just the edges on the second layer. So as you see, I'm working on the larger one now. Nothing complicated, very simple. And slowly moving on to the edges. There we go. And just the edges on the second layer. Okay. Very simple. That's how it looks. Now I will be using a bit of a water on my layers, which will help me to soften paper and shape each of the petal into the shape what I'm going for. Don't spray it too much. Just a small amount of water will do the job, will do the trick. So just leave it for a couple of seconds, and you will see when the paper is ready, when it starts curling up a little bit, then it's your time when you start shaping petals. Okay. So as you see, they are lifted up a little bit. That means they are ready. Okay. And to shape each of the petal, I'm using embossing tool. And I'm just pressing the embossing tool and moving it in the horizontal way, like so. There we go. So you take your time with each of the petal. You don't have to rush. You can just take your time and work on it slowly. Okay. So that's how it looks. Now you just push a little bit in the center so the petals will lift up even a little bit more. Now leave it on side for a bit so the paper will slowly start drying out, and move on to the next layer and repeat exactly the same way. Okay. There we go. Now I'm just pushing a little bit in the center and moving on to the larger layers. For the larger layer, I've chosen a little bit bigger ball from my embossing tool, because obviously the size is a little bit bigger, so it will nicer curl each petal in the direction I want. Okay, if I would have gone for a smaller ball to work on, then the petals will be curled a little bit more, which I don't fancy that look. I've tried on one of them and that wasn't something what I liked. So I went for a little bit larger. But if you prefer your petals to be curled a little bit more, then it's your choice. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. Okay, very simple process, nothing complicated. Okay, now you press a little bit in the center to help your petals to lift up a little bit. Okay, now I'm working with another embossing tool with very fine ball, so you're pushing it through to make a hole into each of your layers. And because the paper is a bit soft, it might be a bit harder for you to poke the hole, so you can take your time with that, and it will help for the stamens to push it through if you use the embossing tool for that. Now I'm working with stamens from the 14 craft bar, and I will leave you a link in the description box below if you fancy do any shopping. They've got loads of different stamens. Okay, so for each of the poinsettia I'm using 3 of stamens. I'm folding them in half and using just a small piece of a wire. This is just a very fine floral wire, very soft, very easy to work with. I think my size is 0.1 millimeter, so it's very small, very fine. And I'm applying a little bit of a hot glue on my stamens, and then slowly push them down. Okay, don't apply too much glue because it will flow over. Okay, so that's what we're working on. Okay, so that's my first layer done, and then I'm adding second layer. Okay, and make sure each layer the petals they're not overlapping. That will create a better dimension to your poinsettias. Okay, and then you apply a small amount of the glue between the layers to seal them together. Okay, like so. Before glue dry, you've got a bit of a time to move your layers if you're not happy with the position when they are facing. There we go. And then you can go back and reshape your petals a little bit because the paper is still soft. You've got a time to do so. Okay. Then you're chopping off the excess of the stamens and applying a small amount of the glue to seal them together so that the stamens will stay in a position, they will not fall apart. Okay, and then leave it upside down like so on the side for the glue to cool down, and then move on to the next flower. So very simple process, nothing complicated. I hope you will enjoy this tutorial and will make your own poinsettias. Okay, so choosing my stamens and then with a bit of a wire pulling them through. So the first layer is done. A bit of a glue to attach my stamens. There we go. And then push it down and add another layer. Okay, so very simple process, like I said, nothing complicated. Okay, and remember to add a bit of a glue between each layers, so your poinsettias will not fall apart, okay? Once you chop the excess of the stamens, they will stay in the position as you want them to be, okay? You can always move each layer petals to the position you want them to be before you apply hot glue, and a little time between the glue gets cooled down, so you can reshape them in the way you want, okay? There we go, very simple. And then just chop off the excess of the stamens and apply a bit of a glue to seal them together, okay? And of course you can shape your petals again because the paper is still soft, so you've got time to do that, okay? There we go. Now I will be adding some glitter on them, so I will apply a bit of a gel medium, and I'm using Crafter Workshop gel medium. It's a very nice medium to work with, dries very quickly. You can use any other tacky glue, for example, or any other ordinary glue. The choice is yours. And just apply your medium in the random way wherever you want your glitter to go. Okay. I'm using white glitter from the Works, very fine small bits of the glitter, and I'm just sprinkling them on each of my poinsettias, and then tap it off the excess and leave it on side to dry. So they are ready. They've got like a little bit of a frosty effect because of adding the glitter, and they've got also a little bit of a sparkle there. So there you go, that's my poinsettias. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you do, please subscribe to my channel for more videos to come. Thanks very much for watching, and speak to you soon. Bye for now.